From the Collins Aerospace Studio at the Nordloff Center in downtown Rockford, it's time for Bergstrom State Line Quiz Bowl.
Welcome to the Collins Aerospace Studio here at the Nordloff Center. I'm Greg Peterson. Here in Season 11 of Bergstrom State Line Quiz Bowl, we have a new host and we have some new set elements, but the game's the same. And we have two teams today that have been here with us since basically the start, although they've never played each other before. Let's meet our teams. Mitch, you're Keith's captain. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and your teammates?
I'm Mitch, captain of Keith Country Day School, coached by Mrs. Burns. To my far right is Ottman, to my near right is Merrick, and to my near left is Jack.
And from Stillman Valley, Evan, why don't you introduce your team?
My name is Evan. I'm the captain of Stillman Valley, coached by Mr. Voss. To my left is Gavin. To my far right is Gage. And to my near right is Taylor.
Welcome. With no further ado, I think we just go ahead and get started. Are you ready? Fingers on buzzers. Here's the buzzer round, which is brought to you by Rockford University. Your first question. What Irish actor was nearly unrecognizable in his makeup as the Penguin in The Batman in 2022, the same year he starred in The Banshees of Inisherin? That's time. That's Colin Farrell. Question 2. What author, who was legendarily called the Little Woman who started the Civil War that's Ottman.
Stowe?
That's correct. Question. What disease caused by the loss of dopaminergic neurons in the substantia nigra is characterized by tremors and is named for a group? That is Mitch.
Parkinson's?
That's correct. What band's guitarist, Lindsey Buckingham, sang? That is Jack.
Fleetwood Mac.
Is correct. Nantucket and New Bedford were centers of what 19th century American industry that hunted animals essential to making oil? Mitch?
The whale industry?
That'll work.
Okay.
What king who won the Battle of Breitenfeld died at the Battle of Lutzen and was the Lion of the North who led Ottman?
Adolphus?
Prompt.
Is Adolphus?
That's correct. A description of Irma's injection appears in what book? That's Ottman.
The Psychology of Dreams?
Sorry, no. So we finished the question for Stillman. A description of Irma's injection appears in what book by Sigmund Freud, which proposes that the tidal events express wish fulfillment? That's time. It's the interpretation of dreams. New question. What instrument played by James Galway is described as transverse because of how it's held and is a woodwind whose smaller version is a piccolo? Merrick.
Flute.
Yes. What province in which the Cabot Trail goes through a national park on Cape Breton Island is a maritime Canadian province whose capital is Halifax? Evan.
Nova Scotia.
Is correct. What playwright of The Zoo Story depicted a party hosted? That's Ottman.
Albee.
Is correct. Humayun's tomb in Delhi was erected for an early ruler of what Indian empire, founded by Babur, whose leader Shah Jahan commissioned? Ottman?
Mughal.
That's right. Next question. The phenomenon known as the Northern Lights is also referred to by what two-word? That's Ottman.
Aurora Borealis.
Is correct. What regular polyhedron has regular pentagons for faces, is a platonic solid with 30 edges and 20 vertices, and is named after its 12 faces? Mitch.
Dodecahedron?
That's right. What ancient historian provided a detailed account of the Athenian plague in 430 BC? Merrick.
Herodotus.
That's incorrect. So we finish for Stillman. The Athenian plague in 430 BC in his History of the Peloponnesian War. Out of time, that's Thucydides is that historian. Next question. What surname is shared by Rosalind, a chemist who helped identify? That's Ottman.
Franklin.
Is right. We're also asking eventually for the founding father who wrote Per Richard's Almanac. Question. What animal completes the title of a story by Frank Stockton that questions whether a princess's lover will open a door to find a lady? Merrick?
A frog?
No.
Okay.
Gavin?
A horse.
No, that's the tiger from The Lady or the Tiger. What lake, which borders the towns of Montreux and Evian, is fed by the Rhone River and shares its name with a major city in western Switzerland? That's Ottman?
Geneva?
That's right. So that is time. That's the end of the round. Keith Country Day out to an early lead of 120 to 10, and we'll be back right after this. And welcome back. Now this will be the volleyball round, but before we get to the volleyball round, I want to thank our judge today. We have Brad Fisher, the chair of the Illinois High School Scholastic Bowl Coaches Association, serving as judge. So Brad, thank you for your help today and making sure everything is judged exactly correctly. So we flipped our coin, and Keith won the coin flip, but chose to go first in the lightning round. So the volleyball round is going to start with Stillman Valley. We know by now that the answers should come from your captains. Everybody ready? Let's get started. Stillman Valley. What text, which a 2024 Louisiana law required to be displayed in public schools, includes the statement, "Thou shalt not kill," and 9 other entries? That's right. Keith, what English poet used sprung rhythm in his 1877 poem, The Wind Hover, which he completed shortly before his ordination as a Jesuit priest?
Go Hopkins.
Hopkins.
That's right. Stillman, what event, whose 2023 women's final was won by Coco Gauff, is a Grand Slam tennis tournament that's partly held at Arthur Ashe Stadium in New York?
The U.S. Open?
Yes. Keith, what U.S. president became the first to make an official visit abroad while in office, going to inspect the work on the Panama Canal in 1906?
Roosevelt.
More.
Teddy.
Yes. Stillman, what poet wrote, "I hope to see my pilot face to face" in Crossing the Bar, and described a doomed cavalry attack in The Charge of the Light Brigade?
Edgar Allan Poe.
No, sorry, it's Alfred Lord Tennyson. Keith, Wellington and Auckland are on what most populous island of New Zealand?
Java.
No, it's creatively named. It's the North Island. Stillman, what state, whose colonial charter was supposedly hidden from British Governor Edmund Andros in an oak tree, was founded near New Haven and Hartford?
Virginia.
No, it's Connecticut. That oak is the charter oak for that reason. Keith, what organism in genus Toxicodendron causes an allergic reaction with the oil it produces, urushiol, and can be recognized by its leaves of 3?
Poison ivy.
Yes. Stillman, in 2024, the Supreme Court overturned what principle, named for an oil company, that told courts to defer to federal agencies when interpreting laws? That's time, sorry. That is Chevron deference, it's called. Keith, what country, where the Musala complex is found in the western Herat province, is a landlocked country whose cities include Kandahar and Kabul?
Kabul's Afghanistan. Afghanistan.
That's right. Stillman, what world leader has been supported by Yariv Levine in an attempt to remove unreasonableness as grounds for overturning laws by Israel's Supreme Court?
Iran.
No, this is Benjamin Netanyahu is the leader. Keith? The supercontinent of Pangaea broke apart into Laurasia, and what other supercontinent, which contained modern India, Australia, and Africa?
Eurasia.
No, that is Gondwana or Gondwana land. So that is the end of our volleyball round. We will be back with the lightning round after this, but stay tuned for the Bergstrom bonus question.
Released in 2019, what song by The Weeknd is the most streamed song of all time on Spotify and was the second single from his album After Hours?
Welcome back for the Bergstrom bonus question, which is sponsored by Salomone's Italian Restaurant. Now, this is a question on the buzzer. The first player to give a correct answer on the buzzer will win a pizza and pasta party from Salomone's Italian Restaurant for their team. Here we go. Released in 2019, what song by The Weeknd is the most streamed song of Taylor?
Never mind.
Sorry, I'll finish it for Keith. The most streamed song of all time on Spotify and was the second single from his album After Hours. Neve?
Blinding Lights.
That's a pizza and pasta party. Thank you to Salomone's Italian Restaurant for that, and we'll be back with the lightning round after this. Welcome back to today's lightning round, which is powered by IBEW Nika. Keith Country Day currently holding a 160-30 lead over Stillman Valley, but it's actually the coin flip that Keith won that determines that they're going first in our lightning round. So Keith, a reminder that your answers should come from your captain. Mitch, remember to speak up whenever you can. Your choices of categories are sharks, English grammar, and presidents at war.
English grammar, presidents at war, probably. Why would we want English grammar?
Because we don't want sharks.
Why not? It'd be funny. Sharknado. No, I'm joking. Presidents at war.
Presidents at war. So I'm going to ask you to name the president that led the U.S. into these conflicts. It's 10 questions, 60 seconds on the clock, and the other team will have 30 seconds to clean up what you've missed. You ready? Let's roll. Number 1, World War I.
Wilson.
Yes. World War II.
FDR.
Yes. The Spanish-American War.
Teddy Roosevelt.
No. Question 4, the War of 1812.
Madison.
Yes. The Mexican-American War.
Polk.
Yes. The Quasi-War.
Adams.
More specific?
John Adams.
Yes. The Korean War.
Pass.
The Bosnian War.
Pass.
The invasion of Grenada.
Pass.
The First Barbary War.
Tecumseh.
No. The Korean War.
Truman.
Yes. The Bosnian War.
Bush the Elder.
No. And the invasion of That Is Time, actually. So there in that round, you got 6 correct. The 4 that you didn't get are going to come over to Stillman Valley. Stillman Valley, again, answers through your captain. The more you can speak up, the better. You're going to have 30 seconds to clean up the 4 that they didn't get. You ready? Mm-hmm. The Spanish-American War.
Taft.
No. The Bosnian War.
Eisenhower.
No. The invasion of Grenada.
Bush Jr.
No. And the First Barbary War.
Polk.
Okay, that's nothing there, I'm afraid. But we can go over. The Spanish-American War was William McKinley. The Bosnian War, we were in the right area, but that's Bill Clinton. That's mid-90s. The invasion of Grenada, that is Reagan. And the First Barbary War was a foreign policy thing that happened with Thomas Jefferson. So in that round, that is 60 points to Keith and nothing to Stillman, but Stillman now has their pick of the categories. So Stillman, with presidents at war, gone. You are now deciding between two very similar categories in English grammar and sharks.
Let's see. Let's just do grammar.
Okay. We will leave the sharks alone. You're going to answer the following about grammar concepts in English. 60 seconds on the clock, 10 seconds. Nope, that's not how that works. 60 seconds on the clock, 10 questions. Here we go. Part of speech of the word between.
Pass.
Punctuation mark that may splice clauses incorrectly.
Comma.
Yes. The base form of a verb, such as to reach, that can be split.
Pass.
The process of inflecting a verb.
Pass.
The grammatical mood that is used to state facts.
Pass.
Element, such as ish, that can be added to the end of a word.
Suffix.
Yes. The process that is doubled in the phrase, don't got no time.
Double negative.
Yeah. The definite article in English.
Pass.
The greatest degree version of an adjective, such as worst.
Pass.
And what S stands for in SVO word order. And that is the end of time. So you got 3 correct there, which means that we have 7 in 30 seconds for Keith. Keith, you ready? Let's go. Part of speech of the word between.
Preposition.
Yes. The base form of a verb.
Infinitive.
Such as, yes. The process of inflecting a verb.
Attonation.
No. The grammatical mood that's used to state facts.
Indicative.
Yes. The definite article in English.
The.
Yes. The greatest degree version of an adjective.
Superlative.
Yes. What S stands for.
Subject.
Yes. And which means that there's only one that went dead to both teams. When you inflect a verb, that's what conjugation is. So 60 points to Keith there, 30 to Stillman Valley, and we'll be back for our final challenge after this. And welcome back for tonight's final challenge, which is brought to you by Mercy Health. Keith Country Day currently up 280 to 60, but there's a lot of ground to make up in this final round because we are on the buzzer and every question is worth 20 points. We ready? Let's go. Question 1. What creator of the stained glass America windows drew from his Belarusian heritage to paint a green-faced man staring at a goat in I and the Village? Mitch?
Grant Wood.
No. Evan?
Van Gogh.
That's Mark Chagall. Next question. What modern-day country in which the aria Nessun Dorma is sung in the opera Turandot is the setting of a John Adams opera about Richard Nixon? Ottman?
China.
Yeah, that's Nixon in China. Operation Ajax was a 1953 CIA-backed coup in what country, which was led at the time by Mohammad Mossadegh? Evan?
Iraq.
No. Mitch?
Greece.
This is Iran. What novel, whose sequel was titled The Road Back, details that is Ottman?
All Quiet on the Western Front.
Good buzz. That's Eric Maria Remarque's World War I book. What process in stars requires ions to break the Coulomb barrier and may take place through the proton-proton chain or the CNO cycle? Jack?
Supernova?
No. Gavin?
Fusion.
That's right. Next question. What cell cycle stage during which the nucleolus disappears and the centrosomes begin to move to the ends of a cell is the first stage of mitosis? Gage?
Prophase?
That's right. Climate change threatens the existence of what country, governed from Male, that is made up of 26 Evan?
The Netherlands.
No, sorry. That is made up of 26 atolls in the Indian Ocean. Merrick?
Indonesia.
No, sorry, it's the Maldives. Question. What city, which names the criteria used to determine eligibility for the European Union, is home to the Tivoli Gardens and is Denmark's capital? Merrick.
Copenhagen.
That's right, for 20. A chain of islands off the North Carolina coast is the title location of what Netflix show in which, Mitch?
Outer Banks.
Is right. John B. and Sarah seeking the treasure of El Dorado. What activist described how nobody ever helps me into carriages or over mud puddles in an 1851 abolitionist speech often titled, Ain't I a Woman? Merrick?
Who said this? Harriet Beecher Stowe.
Is not.
It's not.
So, Stillman, if you want to. Gage.
Sue.
No, that's Sojourner Truth. Next question. What Baroque musical work, often performed at weddings, features a bass line that, Jack?
Canon in D.
That's all I need. That's Pachelbel's Canon, but Canon in D will do it, and that is the end of the round and the game. So we've got 2 triple-digit scores to start off the new season. Congratulations to Keith Country Day with 380 and the win. Commiserations Stillman Valley with 100 and the loss. And thank you to all of our viewers. We'll see you next week.